What's going on, guys? Tony Hannity's here with Lazy Tech TV, and this is an Evo Gaming laptop. Now, if you've never heard of Evo Gaming, Evo is a privately owned brand that specifically, at least here in the United States, only sells on Walmart.com. So you won't find it in your Best Buys or even your Amazons or Fry's, if that's still around. But in any event, the main reason why we are looking at this oh so beautiful beast is because this laptop has been partnered up with THX. You guys know THX. Yeah, that. And so when it comes to gaming, if you're not in the know, sound is everything, especially with multiplayer games these days, FPS games, third-person shooter games. It doesn't matter. Not only is sound important from your left and your right, it's underneath, above you, like things going from left to right and all of that. And yes, developers have built that into their game, and so you'll hear that even if you have your run-of-the-mill $20 headphones, and it'll sound fine. But with THX, the immersion is going to be so much better. So before we take a look at that, let's take a look at this. Now, Evo has 3 different models of gaming laptops. This is their 17-incher. So right out of the gate, it's a little bit, it's not that heavy. It's about 5 pounds. On one side, you've got your Ethernet connection, so you can still do LAN parties. You also have your mic and headphone jack, 2 separate jacks if you want to go analog, and then USB on this side. And then on the other side here, you have an SD card slot, 2 USB Type 3 ports. But then on the back is where all the other major stuff is happening. You've got your power in port, your USB Type C, HDMI out, and then Thunderbolt out, 2 Thunderbolt out. So if you want to connect to 2 different monitors and the like. Underneath the hood, that's what's really impressive about this guy. Underneath the hood, you're actually going to find a 9th gen i7 Intel processor, a 2060 RTX graphics card from NVIDIA. This is VR ready. It also has mechanical keys on the keyboard itself, 144 hertz screen, 1080p screen, a fairly sizable trackpad if you need to use a trackpad for any other functionality other than gaming, because probably don't want to use this with gaming. I guess you could. And a bunch of other kind of cool little things, including Windows Hello. When it comes to the hardware itself, it kind of reminds me of an Asus gaming laptop, maybe an Asus Legion or something like that. It's arguably nothing too unique. For example, Razer, their Razer Core, their gaming laptops, their $5,000 gaming laptops are very, very unique and almost recognizable at a distance. This, I would argue, is it's unique in some regard, but it also has very similar like edges, and some MSI computers have this kind of angled, contoured fan outlet. So when it comes to that, it's, you know, it's pragmatic, it works, and it does its job. Like I said, it's also about 4 to 5 pounds, so especially with the 17-incher, it's going to be quite heavy, so you're definitely going to want to put it on a desk. And of course, with the 1080p screen, everything is going to look fairly vibrant. One thing I really noticed about this, though, is the keys. I would use this all day, every day. The travel was very good. The response is very clicky. The one thing about the keys, though, is although this is a full-size keyboard, they do seem a little small. I'm coming from a full-size keyboard for a desktop, so these seem quite small comparatively. Now, this is a laptop, so for real estate, it's going to be a little bit more scrunched. But for a gaming laptop, as far as a gaming laptop goes, the key travel is very nice. Also, the keys are RGB. Where'd it go? The keys are RGB, so you can have, whatever color, you can have them fade in, fade out, whatever kind of, customized color coordination that you want to do. For a gaming laptop of a brand that I've never ever heard of, to pretty much have a very much state-of-the-art mechanical keyboard, amazing internals, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a terabyte solid state drive. Whew, I'm very happy with that. And one extra little button here, this allows you to toggle between Office, Turbo, and Gaming. So that's going to essentially allow the computer to determine how you want the processor and the graphics card to work in conjunction with what you are going to be doing on the laptop itself. So if we pull up something like Microsoft Word, obviously we're going to be in Office. If we're going to pull up Apex Legends, we're going to be in Gaming. And then finally, the pièce de résistance. This is the THX Spatial Audio. This allows you to actually go into the audio settings and specify on a mixer how you want every single mid, high, every single frequency, every single hertz, how loud you want it, how soft you want it. And you can specify that in the equalizer depending if you're listening to music, playing a game, listening, or rather watching movies, listening to podcasts, whatever. You can even customize it to yourself, and you want to make sure that you are selecting either it's going through the built-in speaker system or if you're using headphones. So while I'm messing around with this laptop for the past month or so, one thing I have to admit is the battery, actually, as big as it is, it's actually not that good. It's about an hour, maybe 2 hours of battery life. So I would argue if you're expecting to be gaming on this laptop, you're gonna be plugged into the wall. So battery life really isn't that much of a big deal. But if you are mobile and you're not by an outlet, just gotta be aware that you've only got 30 minutes, maybe an hour until you need to get plugged in. The other thing too that I noticed, I'm not quite sure if this might be a fluke of this particular laptop, not the model, but this laptop itself. I wasn't able to connect to my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I had to connect to the 2.5 gigahertz. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's something that I had noticed. And if I'm trying to control things through this computer that the other things need to be on the 5 gigahertz network, then this won't find it whatsoever. So like a printer, for example. My experience with gaming laptops are more the name brand, the Lenovo's, like I mentioned, the Legion, the ROGs from Asus, MSI, and Razer. And while they all have their perks and they all have their benefits, one of the nice things about this is going to definitely be that spatial audio. It makes a huge difference. You don't have to turn the volume all the way up to hear all the noise differences, all the little pitter-patter footsteps that are above you. And also just in general, when it comes to watching movies, Netflix and things of that nature, or catching up on Star Wars before Star Wars comes out in 2 weeks, that sound is epic. It's jarring to experience that from a laptop, because laptops tend to have some of the worst sound quality. We tend to recommend, if you're gonna use this to listen to music, connect a Bluetooth speaker to it or something. Don't use the speakers that are built in. Don't even bother using the headphones to plug it in, because it's not going to be that great a sound. There's not a lot of bass. This begs to differ. So sound-wise, it's amazing. And also visually speaking, it's beautiful. It's not 4K, don't need 4K. I mean, right now at 144 hertz, 144 frames per second, the gameplay is smooth as butter. And again, this is a powerful gaming VR ready laptop. You obviously don't need to use it for that purpose. If you're an illustrator, video editor, photo editor, this is perfect for that as well too. It is a little bit heavy, so if you're a mobile kind of individual, just be aware of that. And like I said, battery life is it's not good at all. Oh my God, it's already 75 and I've been away from the power outlet over there for maybe a half an hour. That's not good. So with all that being said, if you have any more questions or comments related to the Evo Gaming laptop, or if you want to check out the other gaming laptops that they have available on Walmart.com, check out the links in the description below. You can find us here on YouTube, Lazy Tech TV. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell to get all the notifications when we upload. Also, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same name. You can follow me under those places as well too. But moreover, if you're into gaming, I game on Mixer. And if you're into podcasting, a buddy of mine and I have a podcast called the Still Recording Podcast. You can find us on Anchor and Spotify and anywhere podcasts are found. So until the next time, guys, late.